Joining me now, Shadow Energy and Emissions Reduction Minister Dan Tehan. We will get to your portfolio, but there's a bit to work through today. Beginning on expenses, we always have this cycle. They're within the rules, but not within community expectations. Is it time to set rules that are in line with community expectations?
Well, I think a couple of points here, Tom. The first is that Anika Wells has been forced, kicking and screaming, to basically refer herself. But really what should be happening here is the Prime Minister should be stepping in and going one step further and getting his department to look at all her expenses. So we know independently, not only IPIA saying that it's been done all right, but also that it's been done according to the Ministerial Code of Conduct. Now, the Prime Minister made very clear in the lead up to the 2022 election that he thought that the Ministerial Code of Conduct needed to be fully abided by. So let's see whether that has been the case, given the litany now of front pages that we've seen about Anika Wells, and he should refer it to the head of his department to see what happens. The second thing is all these rules, like we did when we were in office, over time should be reviewed, and whether if and whether there is a better way to do it, then it should be looked at and it should be considered, because obviously rules need to be examined over time, and so if there is a need for them to be relooked at, they should be relooked at.
What do you mean if there is a need? What's your view? Is there a need to relook at them?
Well, I don't think that there is a problem every 5, 7, 8, 10 years saying, okay, let's have a look and let's see whether they're fit for purpose, as we hope they were when they were put in place. So if the Prime Minister said they needed to be reviewed, then I'm sure that we would support that, because all rules over time need to be looked at and examined, and these rules should be no different.
It's been 7 or 8 years. Why not just be clear and say review the rules?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for all my colleagues, but as from my point of view, I'd have no concern whatsoever if the rules were reviewed, because I think these sorts of rules should be reviewed, and there might be a better way to do it. There might be a clearer way where you say, okay, you know, there's a set amount of money for doing this, which all MPs get, rather than it having to go through IPIA, etc. I don't know, but if there is a better way to do it, then we potentially should look at that.
So, as a couple of examples, family reunion flights where you can have someone or have family members fly anywhere in the country, business class, is that too generous?
Oh, well, look, I think that should be looked at as to see whether it is fit for purpose. I mean, you know, should it be that you can fly family members, especially your children, to and from Canberra, especially if you're a rural MP? You know, that's the sort of thing where maybe the rules work well. When it comes to interstate travel, maybe that becomes more and more of a grey area. But let's get people, you know, to look at this outside of the MPs themselves and see whether the rules as they exist today, you know, do need updating. But I mean, you know, let's get back to the point of why we're here, and it's because of Anika Wells. And I think, you know, in the first instance, what we should see is Anika Wells not only self-referring to IPIA, but the Prime Minister stepping in and doing what he said he was going to do in the lead up to the 2022 election, and that's make sure he holds ministers to account. And there's been no holding ministers to account under his prime ministership, and this is just another example of it. And he should be referring Minister Wells to his own department to see whether she has met that Ministerial Code of Conduct or not.